2025 isn't even over yet, and Netflix has already dropped some of its boldest, buzziest, and most binge-worthy shows in years. But to make this list, each series had to release at least one episode in 2025. No early hype, no trailers, just real content that's out now and already making waves.
But I run this investigation, not the White House, not the CIA.
From international blockbusters to unexpected breakouts, here are the top 10 Netflix series of 2025 that are breaking records and dominating the conversation. Number 10, Ransom Canyon.
We're running to something.
A romantic western wrapped in Texas-sized drama, Ransom Canyon brings slow-burn storytelling to Netflix's 2025 lineup. Adapted from the best-selling novels by Jodie Thomas, the series follows three ranching dynasties locked in generational conflict, with land, legacy, and buried secrets at the center. Josh Duhamel leads as Staten Kirkland, a grief-stricken rancher caught between love, vengeance, and power plays that threaten to upend everything he's built. The show leans into classic Western tropes, lone cowboys, family feuds, mysterious drifters, but filters it all through a modern soap opera lens. It's as much about stolen glances and whispered betrayals as it is about cattle, pipelines, and pride. While critical reception has been mixed, Ransom Canyon found its audience fast, a guilty pleasure frontier saga that's equal parts heat and heartbreak. Number 9, Sirens.
This is the happiest I've ever been.
Sirens is a sleek, 5-episode dark comedy that feels like The White Lotus collided with Succession, then fell off a Hamptons cliff. Set over one dizzying weekend at a lavish island estate, it centers on Devon, Megan Faye, who arrives to intervene in her sister, Simone's increasingly unsettling relationship with her billionaire boss, Michaela, Julianne Moore. But what begins as a family check-in spirals into a fever dream of luxury cults, coded silences, and psychological power plays. NDAs, curated personas, and buried trauma all bubble beneath the pristine surface, turning the house on the cliff into a velvet-trimmed powder keg, with razor-sharp writing and a trio of magnetic leads. Sirens is a twisted, high-gloss descent into the dangerous intersections of class, control, and sisterhood. Number 8, Zero Day.
Hunting down anyone who aided and abetted this horrific attack.
You're just gonna grab people off the streets without warrants.
Part House of Cards, part Mr. Robot, Zero Day is a taut, 6-episode political thriller that weaponizes paranoia at a presidential level. Robert De Niro plays a former US president dragged back into the spotlight after a catastrophic cyber attack kills thousands. But what starts as an investigation into foreign interference quickly spirals into a far more personal and domestic conspiracy. With shadowy tech billionaires, rogue operatives, and a mysterious neurological weapon known only as Proteus, nothing is what it seems. The cast is stacked. Lizzie Kaplan, Jesse Plemons, Angela Bassett, Connie Britton, but it's the writing that burns slow and deep, twisting its way through family trauma, national security, and disinformation warfare. Zero Day asks not just who pulled the trigger, but whether the target was ever real. Number 7, Apple Cider Vinegar.
Lucy idolizes her.
I don't want to be messed around by more doctors.
Slick, sour, and disturbingly true, Apple Cider Vinegar dramatizes one of the most jaw-dropping frauds of the wellness era. Caitlin Dever leads as Belle Gibson, a magnetic health guru who builds a global empire off a fake cancer diagnosis, weaponizing Instagram charisma, pseudoscience, and desperation into an unstoppable brand. But as her empire grows, so does the rot beneath it. The show cuts between flashbacks and media takedowns, painting a portrait of a woman whose lies fed off a culture desperate for miracle cures. Opposite Dever is Alicia Debnam Carey as Milla, a real cancer patient pulled into Belle's orbit, whose fate gives the story tragic weight. This is no slow burn, it's a firestorm of delusion, exploitation, and image obsession. Part biopic, part warning shot. You'll feel queasy and compelled to keep watching. Number 6, The Night Agent Season 2.
Peter Sutherland was investigating. He's gone AWOL.
The Night Agent doubles down in Season 2, delivering high-stakes thrills that stretch from Washington, D.C. to the shadows of global espionage. Gabriel Basso returns as Peter Sutherland, still navigating the explosive intersection of loyalty, surveillance, and political corruption. What makes this show tick isn't just the adrenaline-pumping action or covert set pieces, it's the uneasy tension between personal morality and state secrets. With slick pacing, layered characters, and a globe-trotting scope, Season 2 avoids the sophomore slump by pulling the curtain back on even murkier corners of the night action program. There's a constant sense of movement, paranoia, and danger, but what keeps it grounded is the emotional toll. What happens when duty demands everything? The night agent is back, sharper and more dangerous than ever. Number 5. Ginny and Georgia, Season 3.
I don't want my mom to go to prison.
Ginny and Georgia continues to evolve, and in its 3rd season, the stakes feel tighter, messier, and more emotionally charged than ever. The show sheds any lingering comparisons to its early Gilmore Girls with Secrets tagline, and instead doubles down on its own chaotic identity. Georgia's past is no longer a shadow, it's an active threat, bleeding into her present with new intensity, while Ginny wrestles with the psychological aftershocks of everything she thought she understood. The show thrives on contrast. Teenage angst meets small-town scandal. Dark humor dances with raw vulnerability. With sharper writing and a confident grip on its characters, Season 3 proves this isn't just a guilty pleasure. It's a character-driven drama with teeth. If you've been watching, this season hits harder. If you haven't, now's the time. Number 4. The Residents.
All these other people, they are not. It's us versus them.
Murder at the White House has never looked this chaotic or this clever. The Residents from Shondaland transforms the most iconic home in America into the scene of an elite, high-stakes whodunit. When a state dinner turns deadly, eccentric investigator Cordelia Cupp is brought in to peel back the polished walls and expose the secrets crawling underneath. What unfolds is an 8-part descent into scandal, deception, and palace-grade dysfunction, featuring chefs with grudges, guests with NDAs, and power players hiding bloodstains. It's a mystery that doesn't just twist. It unravels everything you thought you knew about hierarchy, image, and institutional loyalty. With Uzo Aduba leading an ensemble of shady suspects, The Residents is part social satire, part political thriller, and all locked-room chaos. In 2025, murder got presidential. Number 3. Adolescence.
Police! What are you looking for?
Adolescence is a nerve-shredding 4-part British drama that doesn't blink. Told in real time and shot entirely in single takes, it drops us into the chaos after a 13-year-old boy is arrested for the brutal murder of a classmate. What unfolds is an unflinching excavation of online radicalization, parental guilt, and the violence simmering under modern masculinity. Each episode grips like a vice, whether it's a forensic psychologist probing the boy's mind, or a family unraveling under the weight of shame and press attention. Stephen Graham leads a powerhouse cast, but it's newcomer Owen Cooper who devastates. There's no clean resolution here, just raw humanity. The filmmaking is bold, the writing is razor-edged, and the emotional gut punches are relentless. Adolescence doesn't just tell a story, it dares you to look away. Number 2. American Primeval.
Everything I've done, it's been to him.
American Primeval is a brutal, blood-soaked Western epic that throws viewers into the savage chaos of the 1857 Utah Territory. Across 6 episodes, the series blends frontier grit with spiritual extremism, following haunted mountain man Isaac Reed, Taylor Kitsch, as he guides a fugitive mother and her disabled son through hostile land and into the heart of a national reckoning. With sweeping cinematography, a haunting score by explosions in the sky, and fearless performances from Betty Gilpin and Dane DeHaan, this series doesn't flinch. It tackles American violence at its roots, colonialism, zealotry, and vengeance, with raw, immersive storytelling. Director Peter Berg crafts it all like a fever dream: snowbound ambushes, knife-edge showdowns, and a body count to rival Shakespeare. It's not just a Western. American Primeval is a reckoning dressed in buckskin and blood. Number 1. Squid Game Season 3. Squid Game returns deadlier, smarter, and more psychologically charged than ever. Season 3 leaves behind the simple survival premise and dives into global power structures, elite manipulation, and rebellion from within. Gi-hun, no longer just a player, becomes a ghost in the machine, working from the shadows to dismantle the very system that destroyed him. But every move he makes tightens the game master's grip, and new players, richer, crueler, more strategic, have rewritten the rules. The games are bolder, the betrayals cut deeper, and by the final episode, Squid Game proves it's not just a show about desperation, it's about resistance. With some of the most shocking twists in the series so far, this season cements Squid Game as Netflix's crown jewel of global storytelling. And that's the list. 10 shows that aren't just dominating charts in 2025, but changing the conversation around what TV can be. From wild frontier sagas to political paranoia, glossy cult dramas to twisted reality games.
Deeply troubled man.
Netflix didn't just come to play this year, it came to win. But here's the real question. Which of these 10 deserves the top spot?
I know you want to do the right thing.
Was it the shocking brilliance of Adolescence, the emotional devastation of American Primeval, or the high-stakes chaos of Squid Game? Drop your pick down in the comments. I want to know which one hit hardest for you. If this list gave you something new to binge, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and don't miss what's next. We've only just hit mid-year. Until then, keep watching, and I'll see you on the couch.